I'm Effie and this is What Effie Reads. Welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. This week I am going to try and set myself a challenge of reading at least 250 pages each day. The reason that I'm setting myself this challenge is that it is currently the 17th and I still have quite a pile of books to get through. I have a horrible feeling that I have forgotten to add a book to this stack, but this is the stack of books that I still need to read before the end of May. Or at least in theory, that's the stack. There are a few books that I can change out, but basically I have, I think, about 3,000 pages to read over the course of the next 2 weeks. And I also have 2 ebooks to read. So reading a good chunk each day will really help. But I don't know if I'm going to manage. So this could be very interesting. I will note that I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, and by virtue of that I will be able to meet the page limit. However, I always count audiobooks. Audiobooks are still reading. However, for the sake of this challenge, I'm not going to be counting audiobooks unless I can find copies of these books that I need to read in audio form, because the point is to specifically read these books. I'm off to a brilliant start with this reading challenge, as it is now 3 AM on Tuesday and I didn't read any pages yesterday. I went for what I hoped would be a short nap at around 5 PM because I hadn't slept after my night shift, and this is me literally just woken up. So this is going to be a smashing week. I'm not sure if I should try and read double pages today to make up for it, but I think I'll be happy if I just manage to actually read 250 pages today. So on Tuesday I managed to read 40 pages of Only Revolution, so definitely not the 250 that I wanted to read. And then It's only 5 to 12 now, but I guess it's almost the end of the day. So on Wednesday, I finished Only Revolutions, which is 360 pages total. So I read 320 pages. Yay! I also made a start on Crescent City. So far I'm kind of struggling to get into it. I'd previously read a small extract and I remember being very confused and like it was a lot of information at once, but I'm hoping that I will enjoy it once it gets into the story a bit more and things start to make a bit more sense. Hopefully I can read 250 pages of that before I have to go to sleep, around 7ish maybe. But if not, hopefully I can read like that amount of pages of something else. I do have People in Trouble by Sarah Schulman, which I think is around the 250 page mark. I'd have to check. I do remember looking at it and it not being particularly long, so I could always pick that up and kind of try and read that in a single sitting. But I did actually let my cat pick my read. And as you can see, she decided that I should read Crescent City. Just a quick update. Yesterday I only managed to read about 175 pages, but that feels like a step in the right direction. Since midnight I have listened to the whole of the Seep audiobook, which I'm going to count because it goes towards one of the Booknetathon prompts, and now I'm going to sit down and read a bit more of Crescent City. So far I'm enjoying it, I'd say, but I'm finding it quite difficult to sort of switch off and forget Mass's other books. So I'm seeing a lot of kind of crossover. This week I set out to read 250 pages a day of specific books. I know that it probably wouldn't be a terribly big challenge to try and read 250 pages a day if it was just any old book, but setting it as specific books because it's books I want to finish before the end of the month has made it quite challenging. So on Monday I didn't read any of the pages that I'd wanted to read. I did read otherwise, but not what I wanted to read. On Tuesday, again, I read other stuff, but I only read 40 pages of the specific books I wanted to read this week. On Wednesday, I read 320 pages of Only Revolutions and then 12 pages of House of Earth and Blood. So Wednesday was a win because that's 332 pages that I read that day. Sorry, I'm glancing at my phone where I record my pages each day. On Thursday, I read 152 pages of House of Earth and Blood, and I also read 28 pages of A Song Below Water. So not quite the 250, but also not Monday's 0 pages. On Friday, I listened to the whole of The Seep and the majority of Kings, Queens and In-Betweens, as well as reading a few pages each of A Song Below Water and House of Earth and Blood. I don't have the page number. I don't have the number of pages for the two audiobooks to hand right now, but I imagine that between them I managed to hit my 250 page mark for Friday, so that's a win. On Saturday, I finished Kings, Queens and In-Betweens. I also listened to almost all of the Raven Boys and read a good chunk of A Song Below Water, maybe about 80 pages, as well as about 13 pages of House and Earth and Blood. So again, I'm pretty sure I made it to the 250 page mark, or the equivalent thereof. And then today I finished the Raven Boys and I finished A Song Below Water, which puts me at maybe about the 175 page mark. I think it's unlikely that I'll read another 75 pages on the bus into work tonight, but I feel like I'm not quite where I'd like to be. With a little over a week left until the end of Book Natathon, challenging myself to try and read 250 pages or listen to the equivalent of each day has made me kind of think a little bit about what I'm going to read or listen to so that I can try and actually successfully complete this. Looking at the list that I've kept of the creators and books I need to read this month for Book Natathon, I need to read Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which was my plan to read this coming week anyway, and I need to finish Crescent City, and then that will be Book Natathon successfully completed. I do still need to read my Queer Book Box book of the month. I need to read In the Ravenous Dark, finish A Master of Gin, and read A Chorus Rises. But I'd like to say I'm not too worried about the last two books because they're ebooks, and I know that if I set my mind to it, I can get through them really quickly. And I'm especially not worried about A Chorus Rises because I loved A Song Below Water so much. In fact, it's another 5-star for this year. That's how much I loved it. I also am not terribly worried about Crescent City. I do have about 600 pages left of it. However, it's feeling like it's moving along at a good pace, and I am obviously about to have a couple of days off from work. You know, my weekend at the moment falls at the start of everyone else's week. So I should be able to make good progress in that. I think even if I can read like 100 pages a day for the next week of Crescent City, that's something that's doable, and also means I would finish the book in time. I'm sorry if this vlog's been a bit all over the place, but hopefully I'll see you again next time. And until then, bye!